Allah berfirman di dalam surah Al-Imran, sesuatu yang bernyawa tidak akan mati melainkan dengan izin Allah sebagai ketetapan yang tertentu waktunya. Ajal maut segalanya adalah ketentuannya. Kita tidak tahu bila kita akan pergi, tapi kita tahu yang suatu hari nanti kita semua akan dibangkitkan di padang mahsyar.
Hari ini kita akan cakap tentang sebuah topik yang saya sendiri kurang selesa. Saya tak tahu, tak mahir macam mana nak cakap tentang topik ini kerana saya rasa topik ini berat. Walaupun topik ini agak dekat kepada, bukan agak dekat lah, dia dekat sangat dengan semua yang penonton di luar sana dan juga saya sendiri, tapi kita kadang sebagai manusia kita lupa, kita kurang peka tentang topik ini, topik qada dan qadar. Dan bila kita cakap tentang qada dan qadar ni, saya teringat saya ada tengok sebuah filem qadar 10 tahun yang lalu di bawah arahan pengarah Faizal Ishak dan juga penulis skrip Umi Isa. Dan saya rasa bertuah sangat kerana hari ini saya dapat menjemput Abang Faizal Ishak dan juga Kak Umi Isa untuk membantu saya membincang lagi, mengupas lagi tentang topik qada dan qadar ini. Apa khabar Abang Faizal, Kak Umi?
Baik, Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih kerana menjemput kami. Tapi seperti mana yang saya cakap lah, memang mungkin topik ni memang topik yang berat, topik yang mungkin not people would want to talk about or to face, kerana qada dan qadar juga selalunya dikaitkan dengan mungkin kematian, kemalangan, dan benda-benda yang mungkin susah nak dihadapi oleh kita. Kalau berat mata memandang, lebih berat bahu memikul, kan. Sebab itulah ianya di antara rukun iman. Okay? Rukun iman kita yang keenam ialah percaya kepada qada dan qadar. Apa yang berlaku di kehidupan kita telah pun tertulis.
Sebab kita nak menyambut 10 tahun filem qadar ini. Mungkin Kak Umi sendiri boleh ceritakan.
Qadar ialah sebuah filem yang sangat dekat pada diri kita. Banyak insiden-insiden yang berlaku dalam filem ini adalah pengalaman kita sendiri, sesuatu yang terjadi di kalangan ahli keluarga, kawan-kawan. In fact, tercetusnya idea qadar ini adalah atas kejadian kemalangan yang melibatkan kedua ibu bapa saya, mak bapak saya. Okey, yang tu saya tinggalkan sebab he's a better storyteller. Kan, I can write but he can tell the story. Okay, you want to tell about the story of how we got the idea?
Okay, memandangkan ini ialah kita nak celebrate 10 tahun qadar. I want to bring myself back 11 tahun yang lampau. Anak pertama kami Aiden Faris, masa tu baru umur 3 tahun. Dan ibu dan ayah mertua saya sangat rindukan Aiden. I was so busy, I was doing a project at that time, but I had a Sunday off. So I was telling Umi, okay lah, I dapat Sunday off ni, mungkin mak dengan bapa pasal dia rindu sangat dengan Aiden, we could bring them, we can meet halfway. So saya dan Umi dengan Aiden daripada Kuala Lumpur turun ke Melaka dan mereka daripada Singapura naik ke Melaka. Kita jalan-jalan Melaka, we had lunch kat Melaka, and then after that we left because I had to work the next day. And then of course my father-in-law also had to work the next day. So we went our separate ways.
Sendiri sekejap aja.
Kejap saja. Then after that, on the way back, kita dah sampai going back to Kuala Lumpur. I think we didn't hear from them. Kita berdua, we went to like a bazaar, like macam a celeb fest kind of something happening dekat TTDI, kat Taman Tun. What's the name of that place yang kat Taman Tun? Rasta. Because kebetulan Zahiril Azim dengan Syira Ayub, Bob dengan Syira had a small booth kat situ. So we went over to support them. So we were having meal together. And then we receive a phone call. I didn't receive the phone call, she did. So Umi have to tell you about that phone call.
Yeah, and my mum said that mak bapak baru accident, kereta terbalik 5 kali dekat highway. I was stunned because she sound perfectly okay. But my dad shared the photo of the car. The car was a wreck, a total wreck.
Immediately, just sharing.
Dia share WhatsApp gambar. So I'm like, what happened? A bus actually drove fast and apa?
Side swipe.
Then they just topple lah 5 times on the highway tu.
Jadi the collision is between the bus and the car.
Yep. And my dad always memang dia gila drive, kalau kat highway tu memang drive laju sangat. Tapi hari tu dia memang penat kan, sebab macam we met late on Saturday night tu. Then after that we had to check out early and all, dia nak balik semua. So he was tired, so he took the slow lane. And when that thing happened, so they were telling me the story. Inside my heart I was like, 5 kali terbalik and they sound so okay. Tak ada. So I kept asking, are you okay? Yeah, cuma ada calas sikit je. And then when I saw the picture of the gambar tu, the car tu, macam, how can you be okay?
Keadaan kereta tu macam mana? Is it the same like in keadaan movie ke macam mana?
Goner. Lepas tu memang dah tak boleh buat lagi dah.
Yeah.
Kereta tu was a total goner. And my dad was very sad because he really loved that car. Lepas tu terus dia cakap dia tak akan beli kereta putih lagi sebab kereta putih. So yeah, it was such a shock that I tak tahu nak, and they sound so positive about it. Dia orang macam, mak sedih, mak trauma, tapi macam I was like, because that morning before we said goodbye, I had a picture. He took a picture of me hugging them, and that was, to me, bila I tengok balik gambar tu, it still bothered me because the picture was we stood beside the car, and the way I hugged them, like macam I takkan jumpa diorang lagi lepas tu. And true enough, that accident happened, and alhamdulillah they're still around. But yeah, tu terus terdetik, what if I lost them that day? What if, and what happened to the bus?
Tapi that thought was instantly after you dah.
No, that thought bila dah malam, bila I dah baring, dah sorang-sorang, because yeah, the car was, they had to tow the car back, then my sister had to come drive jumpa diorang dekat air hitam and fetch them. Because they don't allow us to go, even though kita dah pergi KL tu, kita tak payah, besok Faizal kerja. And they are just like, to me my parents pun macam they needed time to grasp that they actually survived a horrific accident. Sebab bila dah 2 hari lepas tu baru everyone got
yeah. Because as far as I remember, they needed to exit the car from the front, as in my father-in-law had to kick down the window, the glass kat depan, for them to exit the car, because it was already kat dalam macam a ditch, just beside the highway,
longkang besar lah,
longkang where they topple inside. And all my mother-in-law could tell me was that, don't worry, I ran back into the car to save the gift that you gave me, which is actually the previous year I released my film Juvana. Right, so Juvana punya door gift was payung Juvana, so I gave
Dia
her.
cakap on the spot tu.
Yeah, she actually
mak pergi kat kereta, mak balik kat kereta dah hancur, tapi mak sempat ambil, sebab mak nak ambil payung. Mak cakap dengan polis tu, saya nak ambil payung menantu saya kasih. I'm like, mak, of all things you fikir pasal
Payung Juvana mahal. Payung tu masih ada tak sampai sekarang ni?
Yeah, so I think when it struck us was only later at night. Really later at night. When we were about to go to sleep, we were looking at kita tengok gambar-gambar yang di-share. Suddenly it struck us. Yeah, I mean that photo of her hugging the parents and all, what it would have been that last hug.
Is that the first time for both of you ada that perasaan, that feeling of sadar macam mungkin, is that, could it have been the last time?
The first time that we had a major incident in our life.
No, I mean
5
major,
years before that.
No, that one, I mean the thought of not losing.
Yep.
That one is material stuff. I think
Yeah,
the first one was very material stuff that we lost. But this one is more
Nyawa, yeah.
Nyawa.
So it gets worse lah. It gets bigger.
It gets worse. Yeah. I mean, just out of curiosity, kalau orang cakap apa material stuff yang kita hilang, there was once where kita pindah daripada one place to another place. We stopped halfway for lunch, and then she was asking whether should all barang-barang go with the movers. Then
Pindah rumah.
bila kita pindah rumah, but we decided to keep all our valuables in the car, and then the movers bring all the big stuff, and then the valuables in the car. Kita stop for lunch. That's when kita punya kereta kena pecah, 4 tingkap, all our valuables gone.
Yeah,
Got
actually
robbed.
when you're talking
Everything,
when
semua.
You're talking about qadar dan qadar. That was actually the first time it sets me how Allah was trying to teach me, because I told him I had a bag full of my designer bags, right? Tens of thousands of dollars. I said, there's no way I'm gonna let the movers touch this. This is like, this is my, I can't live without my bags. This I lama tak kumpul bag-bag ni semua. I was so proud of it. Macam like my bags really truly defined me then.
Tapi okey lah, itu pun falls under the category kadar dan kadar for
and
you.
when benda tu hilang, then again that night when after everything dah calm, then I realised that I kept repeating yang I cannot live without my bags. I cannot live without my bags. But see, I am alive. Without the bags, I'm still here. I'm still alive. So bila that second incident happened, bila the accident involving my parents, I'm glad that they are alive. But what if I lose them? Right? What if? Well, am I ready? Am I ready?
Yang bagusnya about the first incident, she stopped collecting bags lah.
Yeah.
Itu abang kena highlight
In the end, she can live with without the bags.
Tapi that also means your take away from that kadar is a good one, kan? Some people tak macam mana, tak mungkin tak dapat terima well, they cannot accept it well, and then they feel macam they keep blaming, and then now the question is, I nak tanya, bila abang shoot untuk filem Kadar ni, ada macam-macam kisah, a few characters in the story. Macam mana pemilihan karakter dan kisah-kisah for each character tu?
I think
Why do you highlight that story?
Yeah, I think we had a few inspiration along the way. Apart from kita punya own experience, right, of what happened to our parents, and then dealing with dealing with what will happen if they did not survive, but they did.
And also the fact that the bus actually just left. It didn't even stop.
Oh
for
yeah,
my
the bus
parents.
didn't stop for them. The
So
bus
I
actually
was,
gesel kereta tu turned 5 times. The bus just went on because it was also raining.
Yep, it was raining. It was raining very heavily. Yeah, that too. Right? It was
Yes,
raining
it
very
was
heavily, and the fact
So the only victim is the car, your parents' car.
correct.
Yes.
So that's
so-
why I was thinking, what if the bus? Can we actually discuss about it? What if the bus also toppled? What happened to the people in the bus? Actually, we were dalam pada sedih, bersyukur sedih that things happened to my parents, but my parents are okay. We are also thinking of the passenger of the bus. Kalau betul-betul bus tu terbalik, what's going to happen?
And then during those years pun, there were a lot of bus accidents, kan? There was a lot of bus accidents that's happening around the highways, dekat Karak, dekat Genting, dekat Ipoh, and all this. Sometimes the reasons are like brake. There's the mechanical faults in the brakes and everything. Now, there's always a scientific reason behind it, but we know that behind all that, there is a force that's working way.
Semua dah tertulis.
Memang dah tertulis somehow. So that became our line. But to make a film more interesting, like you say lah, kita terpaksa membuat the character, the storyline. We know the storyline. The storyline I think is set. We want to topple a bus. Kita nak terbalikkan bus, and then kita nak explore bagaimana manusia menjalankan hidup dengan penerimaan atau tidak menerima qada dan qadar. So that line was well established. So now is to create the characters. From the get-go, when you say you nak terbalikkan bus, it's already a tough thing to do, kan? But we don't want it to be, I think for myself as a filmmaker, I don't want it to be about the bus, about the technical challenges about the bus. I want this to be the human story of what's happening. Of course, kalau you tengok the film, ada the behind the scenes, ada the making of, half an hour special, the making of. Most of the time we were talking about the bus. Most of the time it's tough toppling the bus in the way. But it's not about the bus, it's about the journey of the people.
I personally enjoy bila susunan filem tu abang buat in more on flashback. Jadi kita sebagai viewer, audience, kita tertanya what's the backstory that this happened to the person.
Yeah.
Okay, lock your positions everyone. Here we go.
Qadar ni pada saya adalah nasib ataupun takdir.
Harus percaya pada qada dan qadar.
Takkan terjadinya itu, takdirnya itu, itulah dia.
Udah ketentuan Allah.